The key thing that we see here is that we are delivering consistently over time. We were very happy in July when we were able to lift our guidance for the year. We said we would invest a bit more into the market in the second half because during the COVID it's been a little bit of on-off in the economy around us. And coming now to the beginning of 22, we are back where we should be at our midterm guidance, and we are also very happy that we can increase our dividend by 12.5%. Shows that the underlying business is performing really well.
Can I ask you about some of the moves in the telecommunications industry? I mean, it had felt like it was fairly sleepy a few years back, and now it feels as though there's a ton of potential M&A about to happen. Vodafone's shareholders are getting a little bit itchy, demanding better performance. Activists are there. Traditional fund managers are calling for change. You do have a partnership with Vodafone in a number of key markets from Sweden, Latvia to Lithuania. Do you think any changes over at Vodafone, whether it's consolidation or moves by activists, could have some ramifications for you?
We do work with Vodafone in the B2B area. We have a cooperation there. It's a relatively small part of our business. I think Tele2 over the years has been run much more in the way that the activists would like to see from some of our competitors out there. So I don't think there's a very much of a spillover. If there's anything that I think can have a spillover to the rest of the industry in Europe, it's probably what we see around BT and go-to-market. I think the industry has become more aware that we need to get better at inflation pricing as the world starts talking about inflation again. We had almost forgotten that it exists.
Just to move on, interesting that we've seen a number of the companies that you've just mentioned getting to the streaming market. It's a place that you've gone to as well, and yet it's a fairly fickle marketplace, it seems, as we look at the recent twists and turns for Netflix. Why have you decided that this is a good opportunity for you?
I watching this very carefully. Of course, you see the enormous amount of money that is pouring into content production, and we have been very clear for years that we are not going to spend a huge amount of money on upfront investments in content. So we work with partners. We do have a rev share with them, and we think that works well. There is a distinct and clear relationship between the eyeballs on the content that we sell and the cost that we pay. We have only very limited small investment related to our renamed Tele2 Play Plus, but that doesn't move the needle. So our strategy around content and the TV part of the business is firm. And we are as concerned as many others are when we look at the enormous amounts of money that pours into content production. But I think we have to leave that questions for the CEOs of the companies who run that part of the business.